All right, so this morning, nope, it's not morning anymore. It's like almost 2:30, 3 o'clock. The wind is blowing a little bit, so it's not quite as hot as it has been this for a little while, but I have got to get some fertilizer on this garden. So I want to tell you a little bit about what I've got. All right, so in the past, I could go to Costco and I could get a big box of Miracle-Gro, and it came in packages, and you just bought the applicator that you screw onto your hose. Well, a couple of years ago, they stopped doing that, or at least at my Costco they did. So what I did this year is I got some water-soluble fertilizer that is a Fertilome. It's a 20-20-20. So it's a very concentrated fertilizer, but I already had one of these. And yes, I know it says Miracle-Gro all over it, but it's not Miracle-Gro. It's just what I had handy. And I did a little research to find out how much, and I put 1 cup, and look at that, it's the same color as that Miracle-Gro. Maybe they're made in the same place, I don't know. But anyway, I went ahead and put 1 cup of fertilizer in there, and I've hooked it to the hose, and now I'm gonna start spraying everything. So when I say everything, I mean pretty much the whole garden and the flower beds. Yeah, and probably the berry patch. It's a good thing that I got 2 sacks of that water-soluble fertilizer. But it's really easy to apply, and the way that you tell if it's done, because when you start spraying this, it has a blue tint to it. And as soon as that blue tint is gone from the water that you're spraying onto the plants, then it means that you need to go put some more fertilizer in it. The other thing, I told you that the wind's blowing, and you can see that it's really getting after it. But you can go ahead and spray this. It doesn't harm any plant, and you'll be able to spray this on when the wind's blowing, when it's not blowing. Just, I would say, be a little more cautious about how far away from the plant you are. And these type of water-soluble fertilizers, you need to spray them right onto the plant, onto the leaves. And it'll start taking those nutrients in, and then as you water them, they'll go ahead and go down into the dirt so that they can utilize them longer. This is one of those things that you're going to put on your garden probably every 3 weeks. And your raised bed, or the smaller beds, the smaller containers, and your flower pots, you've got to do them every week. So yes, it's labor intensive, but if you want your garden and your flower pots and your berries to grow, then you've got to put fertilizer on them, especially if you live in areas like I do in rural Utah, where the soil, in some places like my containers, my raised beds, it has good soil in it. But like that berry patch out there, I'm just going to have to supplement them like crazy because there are no nutrients in that soil. It grows sagebrush pretty good, it grows weeds, and it grows cedar trees, and that's about all it grows. So I know that I can supplement the soil by putting some fertilizer on it, and also the trees, and I'm going to use tree stakes for them, and I'll tell you how we do that when we get to that point. But right now, I've got the water hooked up. I'm gonna go turn on the hose, and then I'm gonna start spraying this on stuff. And maybe I'll take a little video about what it looks like when it's going on. All right, I wanted to show you about what it looks like. There, can you see that? It just gets mixed up with the water that goes through it. And see that dark blue color? As long as it's that dark blue color, you know that there's still fertilizer in there and that it's getting on your plants. Hello, it is the 4th of July, and we've been to the community breakfast, and I watched the parade, and now in the very hottest part of the day, I'm going to be working in the garden. Isn't that the way it always happens? But the sky is blue in part of this area, and then there's some clouds over this way and some clouds down south, so maybe we'll get a little bit of rain. We did last night. But I wanted to show you how I put on the top dressing for these berries that we planted over the weekend. And so that's what we're going to do next. All right, so usually when you are going to plant these, you would go ahead and you would plant or put the fertilizer and the soil additive into the dirt that you were going to put around them. Well, that did not happen because we were kind of doing them faster and just trying to get them into the ground because it was so hot, and I had good help and I just took advantage of that. So we're going to put those on as a top dressing, and I'm going to use this Dr. Earth Natural Wonder Fruit Tree Fertilizer, which is also for plants. And the only thing, I've used it in the past, it is organic. It is a 552. And the only thing I don't like about it is that I don't like the smell. Now, isn't that strange that something like that would bother me? But I just don't like the smell of this. But we're going to use it anyway. I don't need to stick my head in it and take a big whiff at everyone. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put that soil additive that we've been putting all over in the garden too. So the way we're going to start, and I'm going to make sure you can see this. So, I don't know. There's that little raspberry. And so what we're going to do is I'm just going to take about a handful, and I'm just going to put it all the way around that little raspberry. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the fertilizer, and I'm just going to put it all the way around. If you don't make it all the way around, take another little pinch and do it. Don't put it on your leaves. And then take your little rake and just rake it in. And that is all that top coating is just to give it those nutrients. Now what will happen, I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it sounds like we're going to get some rain. It's just in the last few minutes it started thundering, so I think we might get a little rain. And if we do, that will be good because it'll water in all of this. If not, these are all set to go off here in about an hour, and they'll water them and it'll get down in there anyway. So that's all there is to it. It's not a big deal. It's not a lot of work. It's just a little time consuming. And look at that. Now my my camera is down looking at the dirt. But anyway, I'm going to do this to every one of these plants. And then I'm going to go over, oh look, the clouds went behind the sun. Or the sun went behind the clouds, whichever way it is. But I wanted to tell you one of the things. The reason why it is so important for you to put soil additive and to put additional fertilizer. When I showed you the pictures of the berry patch, I'm sure you noticed that it's pretty much just raw earth. I didn't go out there and do a lot of preparation before I started planting plants out here. And it's just, I mean, this grows cedar trees really, really well. But that's about all it grows really well. So I've got to make sure if I want these berries to grow well and to get it well established, I've got to keep fertilizing them. Now, this fertilizer can be done every 2 weeks as well as the water-soluble fertilizer can be. So that's probably what I'm going to do. So every 2 weeks from here on out, I'm going to come out here and I'm going to put some top coating on these plants and I'm going to work it in. Easy. Easy peasy. Just don't forget, because if you're like me and you're trying to work in just native soils, they just don't have the additives that they need. And it's the same reason why I have raised bed gardens, is because the dirt just doesn't grow gardens very well. Doesn't grow gardens at all. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to get all these berries and get them fertilized. And then I'm going to go over and show you how we're going to fertilize the fruit trees. And that is an entirely different thing. Okay, so I was going to go out and I was going to show you how to put the fertilizer spikes on the fruit trees. But when I looked at the package, it said to be done in the spring and in the fall, or the fall. And this is not spring and nor is it fall. And so I think it's going to be way too hot for those spikes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do a top coat of the fertilizer that's for the fruit trees and the soil additive. And then I'm going to have the boys tomorrow when they get here put a layer of compost over the top of that so that it will help the moisture. But that's what we're going to do for those. That organic fertilizer is made specifically for fruit trees, so it'll be just fine. But as I was sitting out there, it started to rain a little bit. So I thought maybe I should come in the house. I haven't come in the house yet. I don't have a tree in my living room, even though I might really like to have a tree in my living room. But I'm going to go in and change my shirt because I'm going on call right now, and I don't think that everybody wants me to show up in my stars and stripes to on the ambulance. I know my boss wouldn't like that very well. So anyway, I hope if you like this video that you're going to give me a thumbs up and you'll share it with your friends. This is really fun, you guys. It's fun to do these videos. It's fun to hear from you. So if you have any questions, let's talk about it. This next week, so today's the 4th of July, so I've got Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm going to be doing videos every night because we're going to put in the medicinal herbs, and we're going to put in some more culinary herbs that haven't got put in yet, because everything that's in the greenhouse is coming outside and it's going to find a home. Wrong or right, it's going to be planted because that greenhouse is just way too hot for these little plants. So you guys enjoy the rest of your 4th of July. I hope if you're a firework person that you can watch the fireworks. I know I am, and I'm so fortunate. I live up on the hill, and they shoot the fireworks off down in town. And so I see every bit of them when they come up in the sky, and it's beautiful. So have a good 4th of July, and you guys have a good couple of hours left of what's left of the holiday, and we will talk to you later.